What I'm learning, Jim, is that Qualcomm, of course, as you might expect, and as Apple has fully admitted, it's selling all these phones.
Right.
Qualcomm has gone to the court now and has said we are going to prove, or at least we're petitioning this court for enforcement of this injunction.
So this is the new tribunal that they had to go to, or is it they just went back to the court?
Back to the court.
After
federal
Apple
court,
file.
Back to the federal court with evidence, video evidence, for example.
Video?
I mean, yeah, things, well, of just showing people buying iPhones.
Well, I had that.
You have that. There's another one. So they're giving them the receipt. You see at the very beginning, we don't have to show a lot of this. You know, they're showing the receipt, then they're showing the iPhone being bought. It's a new iPhone. This is the day in question. There it is. So they're presenting video evidence. They have filed with this evidence of continued sales, and they are now going to await word from the court as to what it's going to do in order to have that injunction enforced. Will it penalize Apple in some fashion? Will there be penalties? Unclear at this point. Very interesting that Apple has chosen, of course, to just go forward with the sale of all of its models in China. Its contention being what we brought up on Monday,
right,
that it does not apply to those models that are loaded with iOS 12, the current operating system, and that in fact at the time the hearing on this case took place, iOS 12 had not yet been introduced, and therefore it is not valid,
right,
that it should be part of this. Qualcomm saying there is nothing in the decision, and I have looked at a translated version of it from this court, nothing in here that indicates in any way this was specific to iOS 11 or 12. It is simply specific to the two patents in question being infringed upon. They are currently being infringed upon by all of these models, and therefore these models cannot be sold as per the injunction from this court.
Right, but they're
and
obviously,
Apple, by the way, has no further comment for us.
Right, and they're obviously going to continue to sell until a tribunal basically does a lockdown.
Right.
And could it happen? The tribunal is controlled by the Communist Party. The Communist Party can allow them to win or lose. Qualcomm.
Well, they're going back to this court, right?
Right.
For enforcement of the injunction.
But remember, they need to go to a higher tribunal to actually get the padlock, is my understanding.
Okay, that is not my understanding, but we're both trying to work our way.
And one of the problems is that we have several cross currents,
and we don't know a lot about Chinese law.
No,
frankly,
no one really does.
We do know it's a federal court. It would, as we've said, have application across China. It is a ban similar to our federal court, wherever it may be, saying something that would then have the effect across the country.
Right. Even though it's an obscure province, it would be like the 10th Circuit.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it would be like Hawaii.
Okay, Ninth Circuit. Which
remember when Hawaii? Yeah.
Right.
On the immigration ban, something like that.
The president doesn't like that Ninth Circuit.
I know. But by the way, he doesn't like Judge Curiel either. Remember him? Who is overseeing, of course, the important trial, Apple versus Qualcomm. We did get a date, by the way. April 15th is when the litigation will commence, dealing with all of these issues under which Apple is no longer having its suppliers pay Qualcomm for its IP.